down the basement, lock the cellar door, and baby, talk bloody to me.
Hi, welcome to an extra special episode of Talk Bloody to Me. We need the spinning neon special logo to come out because we are here together in the same room, breathing the same air. And for this episode of Talk Bloody to Me, today we're doing a fan request. It is Night of the Creeps, and we are close enough that we can spit leech slugs into each other's mouths. And in fact, he's
Yeah. Yep.
So, Night of the Creeps is. Do we have any news or updates or anything we need to talk about before we dive right in?
No news, no news.
No
Just
news is
dive
good
right
news.
in. The Night of the Creeps.
The Night of the Creeps was requested by a friend or a fan, excuse me, maybe a friend. All our fans are friends, really. But it is a horror sci-fi comedy, which is a lot of different things. And I really thought I was going to hate it when I first started watching it. I was like, this is dumb as hell, but I actually ended up liking it. What did you think, Breezy?
Well, Matt texted me and said, I don't think you're going to like this because it's sci-fi. Because, a lot of people know me that, excuse me, I don't like sci-fi movies. I'm really particular on it. But I actually really, really enjoy this movie. Yes, it is sci-fi, but I feel like it's more of a comedy on my end.
Yeah.
But also, it feels like that one movie that
Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Yes,
That's what it reminded me of too, is Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Mm-hmm.
Same sort of vibes. This one's a little gorier, I think. This one's got some gross body horror stuff with the slugs bursting out of people's heads.
See, that's like the sci-fi-ish though.
Right? True. What it is it's starts in the 1950s, and there's these aliens in the spaceship that look like the pink rubber erasers you used to have in grade school, except with big butts with cracks.
Yeah, I thought they were going to look like they're like naked, and when I see them, like, oh my,
and they kind of wobble around like,
yeah, I'm like,
and I texted Breezy and I'm like, oh my God, you are gonna fucking hate this movie.
when I seen that scene, I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
But then I'm like, oh my God, I like the little butt cracks, and they have little cute butts, and I thought they were gonna have like naked parts in the front end, but no.
Nope, they're just kind of like pink blobs, but with butts.
Yeah, they kind of look like ugly though.
Yeah. But one of them, they seem to be chasing one, and it shoots a canister down to Earth, and
kind of like a message in a bottle.
Yeah, it is kind of actually. And it lands in 1950s Earth, and the movie is black and white. And at this point, I went into this movie totally cold. I didn't know anything about it other than the name and that it was a horror sci-fi comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's black and white, and I'm like, is this whole movie gonna be black? Because the pink guys were bright pink, they were in color, but now it's black and white. And I was like, this whole movie's gonna be in black and white. And it's the guy and the girl are gonna make out, and they're at the makeout point, and they see the thing go whoosh, and the guy's all cheesy. He's like, I'm gonna go get that. And in the meantime, there's an escaped psycho from the loony bin, just happens to be going on at the same time.
Right.
And they go, and at this point, I'm like, what were you thinking at this point in the movie?
Well, I thought when you said black and white, I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna like switch it from color to black and white, but they only do that one scene in the black and white because like that scene is to like the 50s or 40s or 60s, so that's probably why they recorded it that way. But then it switched into a color for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, I was like, are they gonna switch back to color? But this was kind of like their tribute to like Ed Wood. That even one of the characters says, have you seen Plan 9 from Outer Space? So they like even just admit that they're like, hey, this is Ed Wood. And they go out, the guy finds the canister, and he gets infested with a slug, and his girlfriend gets hacked to death by the maniac. She says, can we leave now? I'll even let you fondle my breasts.
Yeah, that's a funny scene.
Yeah. So, and then it fast forwards to the 80s and it's color. And then I was like, wait, when was this movie actually made? And it was made in 1986. So I'm like, oh, okay. We're in the present day, and it's super 80s. It's like an 80s time. Yeah.
Yep.
80s fashions, 80s. And we meet our two heroes, Spanky and Alfalfa. I don't remember what their actual names. That's what the cop calls them, and those names stuck in my brain better than the actual names. but one is played by the guy that plays Rusty in National Lampoon's European Vacation.
Yeah, because there was two actors that kind of remind me. The one with the lab coat with the glasses. I was like, God, I've seen him somewhere.
Yeah. And
And
then
I don't know I don't remember the name of that actor, but I know I've seen him in some other like movies.
there's a couple familiar faces. But yeah, Jason Lively, who played Rusty in National Lampoon's European Vacation, using a couple other things. He was at Crypticon, one of the first early on years. I just know
Oh,
because Aaron had a blast hanging out with him.
okay.
But apparently he's a cool dude. But they're the heroes of the movie, and they're like the nerds of the college, and they're trying to impress the chick. And so they're trying to get into a fraternity, and the fraternity tells them to steal a corpse because that's what you do,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And this play,
It's pretty much like people were saying, what was it? Good news, your date is here, but bad news is your date is dead, or your dates are dead.
yeah, that's a good line.
It is. That's one of my
Yeah,
notes.
yeah. So they find the guy from the 50s he has like a leech in his mouth and it jumps out and affects people. And then they basically turn into zombies. And then eventually, if they die or if they stay zombie too long, their head explodes and a bunch of leeches blast out. They're like slugs,
Yeah.
everybody,
They're not like small slugs. They're pretty much
yeah, they're like
big.
banana size,
Yeah.
except they're black and slimy and they go
Yeah. I don't like slimes.
yeah,
Slugs. Ugh.
really gross.
Yeah.
But I at no point felt like I was going to throw up. So progress is being made.
Yay!
I was able to see slugs going in people's mouths. Some of the special effects, they looked like CPR dummies. I'm not going to lie. It looked like Recessa Annie was getting a slug in her mouth.
Oh, I guess I wasn't really paying attention, but
Yeah. Do you remember Puppet Master with
yeah.
Leech Lady?
Yep.
And she's like, as the leech comes off. That's kind of what it's like that, except in reverse, and it's a lot faster.
Mhm.
So, what was one of your favorite scenes of this movie?
My favorite scene is like they were all like outside, it's like getting towards like the end, and she's like like
To her boyfriend.
yeah, to her boyfriend. I like that one. That is like so me. There's another scene that I really, really like. It's more so the FX makeup type deal. It's like this chick was actually like picking up the cat, and the cat is like seriously like
Oh yeah,
like in bones and stuff.
like half of its face is missing, and you can see the skeleton, like the
Yeah.
skull underneath.
Yeah. It's like that's a good FX right there.
Yeah, that was a really good one. Yeah.
Um, Otherwise, that's pretty much all I like. I mean, I didn't think I would like it.
Uh-huh.
Do I love it? No. Do I hate it? No. I actually enjoyed it, but would I watch it again? Possibly, maybe. I don't know.
I liked
Probably.
it. Probably.
Yeah, probably.
I ended up liking it better than I thought I would. It grew on me, and the gross slugs kind of won me over after a while. Did you think it was funny, like as a comedy? Did you think like was there any parts where you thought was really funny?
I think the comedy part was the killing scenes.
Yeah.
Like how the comedy part, like the for instance, like the cat, like that's kind of like a comedy type part too.
Right. There was a part where it was the guy in the morgue and he's walking out the door and he's all covered in blood and he's got like metal things sticking in his face and the cop is walking by and is looking down at his book and doesn't even look up and is like, have a good night. Like doesn't even notice
Yeah.
that's a bloody, horrible mess walking past him. That's a little funny. That's where it's kind of trying to be comedy with moments like that.
Right.
And your dates are here. Good news, your dates are here. Bad news, they're dead. That guy, every line he delivers, he's like the cop, the grizzled old cop that's trying to write old. He was actually the ex-girlfriend of the girl at the beginning that got, or ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend. What? Maybe he was into some shit. I don't know. Anyway, so Night of the Creeps. What else can we talk about? Some of the special effects were cool. Some of them were weird. Some of them were stupid. Some of
I
the
didn't think anything were stupid besides the ending or no, the beginning of. I'm like, what the fuck? These aliens are naked and it's a butt crack. I'm like, what the fuck am I getting into?
Did you notice the bus driver and he's like, be quiet back there. And then he looks ahead and there's like the zombie dog in the road. He kind of goes, oh, and then he looks and there's like a taxi and his
Yeah.
eyes go like super crazy weird. Did you notice that?
Yep.
That was weird.
I hope you were high when you watched
Yeah.
it.
I was like, whoa, dude. I
Yeah.
actually did rewind it and watch it like 4 times. I was that tripped out by it. I was like, look at his fucking eye. Like they like bug out. He does like a large Marge from Pee-wee almost. Not quite that extreme, but
Yeah.
a mild, a lesser large Marge, a small Marge, if you will.
What's your favorite scenes?
My favorite scene is first of all, before I get to my favorite scene, I just got a shout out to Alfalfa, his friend, whatever. I can't even think of his real name, but he was a superhero right down to the end. He even brought his own melon down to the furnace so that when the slugs burst out of his head, they would die on impact. What a champion.
Yeah, kudos to him.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite scene is when I think he like she's talking to her boyfriend and she hasn't even noticed that he's a zombie and she's like, I'm sorry I didn't call you, and then all of a sudden the guy, the hero,
Yep.
Rusty's like, look out, and she's like, huh, and he goes blam and shoots his head with a shotgun and then his head goes.
That's epic.
Yeah.
I really like that scene. I totally forgot that one, but yes, that one's a good one.
That's probably my favorite part of the whole. And then he's like, oh, sorry. Like, whoops. Like, I didn't realize who it was.
So how much do you like rate it? How many buckets of blood?
I actually thought about this ahead of time for once, and I'm gonna give it a 6 because there's some parts that were just so cheesy that I just was like, oh my God, for real.
Well, you gotta think about like the FX back in the day too.
Right,
I mean,
true. But I did end up liking it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and I did think some parts were funny, and I thought some of the effects were really cool, and I kind of just was intrigued and grossed out by the idea of giant slugs going into people's heads and reproducing until they explode out. And that's gross and weird. And how about you?
I would give it probably a 6.5, probably.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not really into like the sci-fi, but I do like how they turn like a little bit of sci-fi with the slugs and the bugs. And then the comedy part, I do like some comedy horror, but it actually all blends in together, so it's not just bam sci-fi and then bam horror. It's all meshed into one.
Yeah.
I do like that, and I do really like the FX
Yep.
back in the day too, even though it's cheesy, but
honestly, compare it to another sci-fi comedy horror, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I think I like this better of the two.
oh, if you're going to compare it,
Yeah, I think if you were between those two, Night of the Creeps or Killer Clowns from, I know a lot of people love Killer Clowns, but I think I'd rather watch Night of the Creeps again than watch Killer Clowns from Outer Space again.
See, I'm a little bit of both.
Oh, well, there you go.
I'm like in the middle.
Yeah. Well, there you have it.
And also, like I've been checking up. I guess a lot of people are saying like James Wan should do like remake this movie, a remake.
Oh, really?
Like James Wan to be a producer and have a remake on this movie.
That would be cool. I mean, as long as they're remaking everything else, why not remake this too?
Yeah,
you know,
James Wan. I mean, he's a really good director.
Yeah. What says he directed?
He directed Insidious.
Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. But
nice.
yeah, I think he should.
Nice.
That'd be a good remake.
Yeah, for sure. And anything, so does that wrap it up for Night of the Creeps? Killer Slugs from Outer Space? Oh, spoiler alert for the ending. The brave cop burns down the whole school with, oh, I gotta mention, the weirdest part of the whole movie is when they go into the basement of the women's dorm and there's that whole big giant like pile of slugs and they're like wiggling and it's like super like the film is sped up so they're like supernaturally like super crazy fast. That is gross and weird.
I don't like slugs, but I will watch it. But I like gross and nasty. It's like, ooh, but I still like it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That part was memorable. But the hero cop burns the place down. Rusty and the girl go off happy into the sunset, and then the body of the cop stumbles out burnt to a crisp as a zombie. He falls down, his head bursts open. The slugs go into the graveyard. a spotlight appears over the grave. It looks like a zombie's gonna come out, but nope, it's the aliens
Yep.
looking for the slugs,
Mhm.
trying to recapture them, and that's how it ends.
It's a really good one. It's a classic,
Yeah.
old classic one, which I kind of figured it was going to be a classic movie, one of those classic movies. But if you have not seen it, go and check it out because I didn't think I like it. Actually, I really enjoyed it. So I hope you guys and find the movie. I think it's on Tubi.
Yeah.
It's on Tubi.
No, is it? I think I actually ended up renting it on Apple TV.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's on Tubi.
Maybe I could have
think.
got it free.
Yeah, Night of the Creeps. So.
Night of the Creeps. And shoot, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, Night of the Creeps. Look it up. Go find it, rent it. I hope you enjoy it like we did.
Oh yeah, what I was gonna say is, if no other reason, if you're feeling nostalgic for the 1980s, this is like a fucking shot of 1980s right to your skull.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, it's worth it watching that for if nothing else.
Mhm.
But thanks so much for watching. Glad you could join us for the first time we're in the same room together. Talk bloody to me.
Woo!
And that's our new theme song.
Yep.
All right, thanks for please like, share, and subscribe, and do all those wonderful things you do. And we'll see you next time.
See ya.